Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to come on here today and I was going to do a private video and then a private live stream and then make it go live. But I decided that you deserve to have this information up close and personal. So in this commentary that I'm going to make you aware of some of the more fun facts about living in the Philippines that I discovered just this week, and the commonalities between my experiences and other people or foreigners' experience that live here. Now, the foreigner that's on vacation probably won't have the same advantage that we have after living here for several years. So I didn't make a list, but I do have some personal experience because I am, in fact, doing construction in the Philippines. And one of the fun facts that people just can't seem to understand or believe is that no matter the situation, it makes no difference. If you are a foreigner living in the Philippines, you are looked at from the same perspective of, I wouldn't know what the percentage is. I can just take a guess. 97%. Let's just say 97% of the people here in the Philippines believe that you, in fact, were born rich and are living on a pension that's unfathomable in the amount of money that you receive, or that you're one of those people that are born into money. You know, you're just rich because you don't work anymore. Now, this is the kind of complication. I'm gonna review the comments and I will answer questions. Hello, Alexander Pekovic. Hello. I think you're a new name. Welcome. Escaping. What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother? Escaping to the Philippines. I have some stories to tell about just this week. In fact, the videos that I uploaded for my foot injury or infection are all on my Patreon account, but I had some experiences this week in the hospital that were just completely just hard to describe. But I'm not going to say anything bad about the hospital or the people. They're wonderful people. They're very kind and very courteous. However, I actually had to teach the woman how to dress my wound so that the bandage didn't fall off before I walked from the hospital to the jeepney terminal. So other than that, escaping to the Philippines, I have some stories about at the jeepney terminal and with some of the other things I did during the week. So thanks for asking. You can't see my hair tonight. Here's my hair. Okay, there you go. I hope that satisfies you. You might have been the one that told me that my hair was messy last time. Hey, brother. Powdered Toast. Hello. Slim Jim. I think I just answered one of your questions not so long ago. Slim Jim understands the Philippines. See? Slim Jim, if you read his comment, they have the Filipinos. We're going to talk about money in the Philippines. We're going to talk about the Filipinos' perspective. That's one of my main topics. They actually do believe that somehow magically the money appeared. And 97% of the people in the Philippines believe that you didn't work for that money. When you're born into money, it's an inheritance or something like that. And there's no way to make them understand, because here is the typical conversation. Hello. You have a long nose. That means you're rich. I don't see I could see the correlation to your como se llama and your long nose, but I cannot see the correlation to the long nose and being rich. I don't see it. Como se llama and the long nose, that might have something to do with your anatomy, but not being rich. So, as Slim Jim stated, they believe that you're rich. Now, where I first moved into, I moved into a new hotel, and I was the first tenant. I'm not going to be able to keep up with all these comments. Scott, glad to see you didn't have to stay there. Yeah, I didn't stay in the hospital, but we're not going to. I'm not. If the people want to see my hospital videos, they can become a Patreon member. Danny Gordon, hi, hey, I'm doing well, Danny. Thank you. Your name I remember. Yeah, I'm doing good. The foot is healed. Okay, Danny, go ahead. Toast man. How to toast. Love that name. I'm definitely going to make some how to toast. Okay, you guys can have fun chit chatting with each other. That's fine with me. Okay, so Danny Gordon's getting ready to move to the Philippines. This ought to help you. We've talked about this before. So they believe that you are magically rich. Now, when I first moved into the Philippines, I'm going to go start from my first experience in the Philippines. I was the first person to live in the newest hotel right off a beach in on the island of Panglao. And they believed that the rent was a certain amount of money because that's what the landlord told them the money was by the day. So if you could afford that, you are rich. So for the first 8 months I was here, what I did was I gave candy to the amount of candy I gave out, and rum and cigarettes and sneakers and sandals and rice and vegetables. Sometimes if I had some extra vegetables that were going to go bad, they weren't bad yet. If the amount of money that I gave out in 8 months was 32,000 and some change pesos, that's what I kept track of. It was much more than that. And from that, and I would have people walking off the beach and standing in front of my house, my apartment window in harmony, going, "Give me candy." They don't say please. That's one of the things that really irks me about people in the Philippines. They don't say, "May I please have some candy?" or "May I please have a cigarette?" They don't do that. They don't say, "God bless you," when you sneeze either. So we're not used to the way they ask for things, but one of their favorite things is to say, "Give me money." And me, coming from New York, I have a really bad attitude about people that say, "Give me." I think you should have to earn it, and the people here think you should give it to them. That's a serious statement I just made. They believe because you have more than them, you should give it to them. And I've said this in other videos. You could give every person on this block, when I first moved here, most had a light bulb and lived on dirt floors. It's changed since then somewhat because of all the construction. Almost every one of those people have a man in the family. But they say, "Give me money." And I would say, well, I understand a little bit of work. I mean, a little bit of words. And I would say, well, why don't you do some trabajo for me, which means work for me? No. They would just say, no, give me money. And they put their hand out like this. And they have this sad face that they put on. It's like they went to school to get this face. It's like, and then they go like this. Good. And they go, "Oh, gutem, kaon, kaon, no rice, no rice." So they really expect you to give them money. Now, another thing, that's the truth. Now, if you come to the Philippines and you meet another foreigner and you have this conversation with them, the foreigner is going to say one of two things. You're 100% right and welcome to the Philippines, or get used to it. Just those two things, because they don't want to have this conversation again. That's a fact. So my personal experience this week is my GoPro camera, as you know, it failed and got salt water in it. So I took the camera and soaked it in water, fresh water, a couple of times and blew it out with the compressor and put it in the sun. And believe it or not, it's working. However, it won't match up. This pertains to You're Rich. And this is the common answers that you get when you're asking a question about any item. It doesn't matter what it is. So I brought the camera to the shop where I bought a Galaxy Tab A tablet. Okay, it's a piece of junk. It's got a 5 megapixel resolution camera. You've seen videos from last year where Daisy and I were doing live videos. It's a piece of junk. Samsung Galaxy do stuff that I don't use it for, but it's in general, it's a piece of junk. And this week I brought it back to the shop, and I don't have the box, so I left it in the shop because the battery took a dump on me. Only after 8 months, the battery takes 10 hours to charge like 58%. So I bring it to the store where I bought it with the warranty and the cord and the tablet in the sheath that comes in. And here is the answer that I got at the counter before the man checked out the product. Because the reason I bought the Samsung is because in the BQ Mall they have a repair shop for Samsung products right in the store. So that was why I bought a Samsung tablet. No other reason. No other store has a repair shop in it. So I put the tablet on the counter and I explained to the woman that the tablet has a problem with the battery. And she says, just like this, I'm telling you the truth. Anybody that lives here is going to confirm what I say. Just buy a new one, sir. Buy a new one. That one's old, like with faces. That's old. This is only 8 months old. Yes, sir, but we have new models. You should buy a new one, sir. Sir, okay? I said, well, why would I buy a new one? This is under warranty. Yes, but sir, you don't like the way the pictures come out because you already said that. I already told her that. Buy a new one. And I got so upset. You have no idea. My New York persona came out, and you have no idea my New York persona. It's not like a British persona or an Australian persona. Nothing like any of those. This is New York, Brooklyn. What is wrong with you, ma'am? Are you insane that this thing costs 1,399, 14,000 pesos, and you're going to sell? You want me to buy another one and just discard this? But this is what they do. This is what happens when you live in the Philippines and you're a foreigner. Now, that woman doesn't own a tablet. She might be availed to a cell phone, maybe, but if her cell phone breaks, she brings it to a repair shop and somebody has to fix it because she can't spend 7 or 8 or 10,000 pesos for another cell phone. That's a once in a 6 or 7 year cycle that you can buy a new cell phone if you're a Filipino working for a job. Okay, so now that said, they told me they couldn't work on it, so I took the Samsung down to the GoPro dealer. I went to the ICM mall from the BQ mall. I take the Samsung tablet. I couldn't make the program show up in the GoPro. That might still work, but maybe because it's got water in it, some of the programs don't work. So now I take the Samsung tablet and I take the GoPro that works partially, that I can't see all the screens on. I bring it over to the ICM mall to a place called Colors, which is the only place that sells GoPro. And if you're going to buy a GoPro, you need to buy it at the ICM mall. And what you need to understand is there is zero service and zero accountability at the store called Colors. They sell GoPros. They don't repair them. They won't order you a waterproof case. It took 7 months of me going back and forth to get a waterproof case. She never got the waterproof case for me, but she told me come back next week. And for 7 months, I came back, and there was no concern for you whatsoever. They don't sell the waterproof case, hoping the camera will leak and you have to buy a new one. This is the mentality of the people that sell these products. They are only there, if they're behind the counter selling something, their sole purpose in life is to sell you a product. They don't want repair services that are over the 30-day, or most electronics are 7 days. They don't want to fix it because they know you have to buy a new one. I say all kinds of comments. I'm not done talking, and I might not be done talking for an hour, so get used to it. So I can't see them without my glasses, but I see the screen going up and down. So you guys chit-chat with each other all you want. Okay, so now I bring the tablet and I bring the GoPro over there to the woman. Did you ever get those? And the thing that's really upsetting is that the warranty expired on July 2nd of 2018. So it got wet around July 2nd. So I could have, when I got it working partially, if it was the week before, I could have brought it back in and said, this is defective, and they would have sent it out. And that's another story. So I tell the woman, is there a service technician here? Not yet, sir. Come back in an hour. So I go away and I come back. There's another thing. Excuse me. First she said, wait a while. And I said, well, how long is a while? I don't know, sir. I said, well, who am I waiting for? Well, you're waiting for the man who can help you. Okay. Well, is he a service technician? No, sir. But he knows about the program. See, this woman is the manager in colors for 4 years, and she has no idea how to she has a concept of how to put programs in the app, but what she can tell you is you have to put this app in to make the camera meld with the tablet. But that's all she can do. She will tell you she does not know how to put to marry the GoPro camera to the tablet, but I think she does. But that's not her job. So if it's not her job, she doesn't do it. She just says, I don't know, sir. So I said, all right. So I come back in an hour, and actually the man was coming in as I came in. So I bring it to the man, and I said to the man, it's called pairing the camera to the tablet. I said, this thing is in pairing. And he said, sir, this is old. It's old because it has paint on it. Hold on, I'll get it. It looks old, but it's not actually old. It's 1 year and 3 weeks old. It's not old, and it's not even broken. It still takes great video, and the sound is good too. So he picks up the camera. This is the camera. Okay, and you can see when I work with it, I have paint on my hands. I just let the paint go on the camera. It's not going to damage the camera. It's not on the lenses, and it's not on the screen. Plus, if someone sees this camera with paint on it, the people in the Philippines will look at this not as a good camera because it has paint on it. They don't understand that paint is actually a protective agent. They don't understand that the paint doesn't affect the electronics of the camera. They don't understand anything when it comes to reality, let's say. I'm in the construction industry. I get grease on this thing. It's waterproof. I take soapy water and I take a very small light fine paintbrush and I wipe. If I get a lot of grease, I dropped it in a bucket of oil. Just wash off the grease. It's waterproof. You just clean it like you clean your underwear. So the man looks at the camera and he looks at it like this. He says, sir, buy another one. This one is old. I said, it's the year and a... No, sir, this model is from 3 years ago. I said, I don't care about the model. I came here to have the thing fixed. So that's 2 people within 1 hour that didn't look at the problem I presented to them and both said, buy another one. This stupid camera, to replace this camera now, is, I think it was 20,000 pesos. I actually paid less for it than it costs now because it was on sale. There was a special 20% discount at the time I bought it. So this camera costs more now, and the man didn't look at how to pair it. He just said buy a new one. And by this time, I was off the chart, off the chain. Okay, with are you serious? I didn't say serious, but it begins with the letter S. Okay, are you serious? I asked you to pair it to the tablet. I didn't ask you about a new one. I didn't ask you about how old it was. I didn't ask you about anything like that. I asked you to pair it to the new one. I'm having trouble pairing it. But you know what? He kind of calmed down, and I didn't. I said, so are you going to do this for me now or not? Yes or no? Sir, come back in a while. I want you people in that come back in a while. What is a while? What is a while? A while is more than 3 minutes. It's less than 10 in my perspective. But a while to them is come back in a few hours and we will try again. And if they don't not ready for you, come back in a while. That's the thing you need to know about the Philippines and money. People in the Philippines don't care how much you spent to have an item that's supposed to work. And when you present it to them with a problem, their answer is buy another one. Now, that's just one example of how they don't necessarily care about whether you spend money. Their job is to sell you stuff. It doesn't make a difference what it is. A man will tell you to get on the wrong jeepney, and he doesn't care. He knows where the right jeepney is. He doesn't care, because what he cares about is if you get on the wrong jeepney, you have to come back to your point of origin, and you spend another 20 pesos or 10 pesos on a jeepney. Therefore, a Filipino made 10 or 20 pesos, less their overhead, of course. So they don't care if you spend 25,000 pesos for a camera, that's what it is now. And they don't want you to buy the waterproof case, because if the camera gets wet, you have to spend another 25,000 pesos instead of 4,000 pesos for the protective housing. This is the way it is in the Philippines with money. Now, another thing with money that not an hour later, I didn't even get to the ICM mall, and the bandage that I'm in the hospital. The nurse simply does not know how to put a dressing on a foot. Period. Doesn't make a difference. If this is the foot, let's just say this is the foot. Okay, this is the foot. Here's your foot. Here's your toes over here. Here's your toes. All right, so you got your foot on the table. What she does is she puts the tape over the top of your foot, the bridge of your foot, and puts the seam, the overlap on the bottom. Well, in the sandal that my foot is in, as soon as your foot goes like this a few hundred times, the seam falls apart. So I told her, don't do that. In a video on my Patreon account, you will see me stop them from putting on the bandage incorrectly. Okay, so the videos for the foot and my injuries are on Patreon only at the $3 tier level. If you want to see them, I won't discuss this with anybody on here in the comments, which now I have several hundred comments. I don't even know where to start with that. So the bandage fell off. So I go back to the mall. Last week, the bandage fell off on day 3 of treatment, because I went back to the hospital to get the treatment each day. So the cost of the treatment was X amount of dollars. That's on the Patreon time to dress the wound, plus medicine, which is this sulfadiazine is the cream they put on it. And this is $8 a tube, and this medicine here. Okay, so now I have a bandage that fell off. I go back to the hospital and I said, this thing has to be redressed. Are you going to charge me again to dress the wound? And they said, yes. And I said, well, I'm only gone an hour. They said, sir, you should have not walked on your foot. I said, I just talked to the doctor. The doctor says I can do all the walking I want. Sir, we'll have to charge you to put a second dressing on. I said, no, I just went out, I bought a roll of tape like this tape here, says fragile on it. You'll see my videos at the hospital with me with this roll of tape. Fragile, that's my foot is fragile. I went and bought a roll of tape and put the tape on it myself, and I saved X amount of pesos. But before I got back to the hospital, I was on a Jeep, a miniature minibus, like a smaller Jeep. It's like a van with seats in it. Okay, holds like 16 passengers. So the woman asks me what happened to your foot. So, like, if you explain it to them and you say more than 3 concepts at the same time, like originally I was welded. Okay, that's 1. I got burned. That's 2. I got an infection. That's 3. And then the infection became worsened. That's 4. Forget it. They already are gone. They only understand pieces of information, one piece of information at a time, which is another topic that I wanted to talk about. When you're speaking with a Filipino, just speak one piece of information. Like you texted, "Hi, how are you?" "I'm fine." You can't say, "Hi, how are you? What are you doing today?" Because the answer is going to be, "I'm fine." "Hi, how are you? Are you home today?" "I'm fine." They understood the first piece of information. So I said to the woman, "I had a foot infection." "Okay, sir." And I said, "But they put the bandage on wrong. And now I have to go back to the hospital, and I'm sure they're going to want more money for an additional dressing, because they don't do anything for free in the Philippines." I've been here in the Philippines in 5 years. I spent a lot of pesos, okay, a lot. And I got 1 piece of fried chicken one time 2 years ago, 1 peso off the cost of my vegetables from Peter, of course, from ICM, 3 weeks ago or thereabouts, and 1 peso off vegetables from another stand a long time ago. And they make you aware that they gave you a discount for 1 peso. Now you're spending 600 or 500 pesos, and they're giving you back 1 peso or 1/500th of your sale price. They make you aware that they took that peso off. Forget about the fact that the scales might not be right. Forget about the fact that they weighed the damn vegetables with the tray, which is another scam they have in the Philippines. They have 2 scales set up. One, the tray. I'm getting off topic. One, the tray has the tare weight on it, and it shows up as 0. And then they take that tray off, and they let somebody else use the tray, and they take it to another scale that doesn't have the tare weight, and now you're paying 100 pesos per kilo for the tray itself. So I get all over them for that. I rip them new ones. I tell them, "Yeah, you know what? I had 500 pesos worth. I just here, take it all back. Take it back." So the woman says to me, "Sir, don't worry about it. Just have it dressed." I said, "Yeah, I'm going back to the hospital, but they're going to want to charge me." "You're rich, sir." With a smile. "You're rich, sir. You're rich, sir. Why do you worry? You're rich." I can't impress upon you how much this hurts for me not to make them able to understand that I worked for my money. I worked for my money. And so did 95% of the other people that are in the Philippines. They also worked and retired. There's a few percentage of people that are just, born wealthy. Those people don't live here in the Philippines, and I certainly don't meet them. There's a house down the block from me. God, I guess it's 6, 7, 8 acres. Have no idea. I can't see the back of it. The property. It's got pools, got tennis courts, got a go-kart ring. The guy looks like he's setting up like a go-kart ring for his kid. I don't know who that guy is. Got electric gates that go up and down, infrared cameras, barbed wire, electric fences. Anyway, okay, so now that's 3 people that said, "Don't worry about the money, just have it. Buy a new GoPro, buy a new tablet without looking at the tablet, buy a new GoPro without looking at the GoPro, and just get another dressing and don't worry about the money." All that happened in an hour and a half. So now I go back to the hospital, and sure enough, they said they wanted money, and I said, "That's it, we're done." So I went and I bought the tape. Now, when I did Britain, then I went upstairs to the BQ Mall, and I bring the tablet there. It's already 2 o'clock. The man says 45 minutes, sir. Come back in 45. First he says wait a while. I said how long? 45 minutes, sir. So I come back at 2:45, and I said to him, "Is it done?" "Not yet, sir." And he walks back into the room. He doesn't even tell you that how long it's going to be. This is another thing. They have no respect for your time. No respect for your time whatsoever. None. Zero. It's not going to happen. They won't offer you the piece of information that, "Sir, we can't look at it today. Can you come back Saturday, 2 days from now?" Whatever. They will not offer you that piece of information. They will have you sit there till 5 o'clock. It will not be ready. You'll be saying, "Well, I thought you were going to," sorry, I didn't get to it. It's always "sir, sorry." Okay, they're very pleasant when they're slipping it in. So I come back at 2:45, and he walks back into the thing. He says, "Wait a while." I said to the woman, go get him out. Get him out. Go get him out here now. Go, sir, he's work. I get him out here now, right now. Just get him out here. I need to ask him a question. Simple question. Take about 45 seconds. Comes out. I says, "Okay, I don't care. It's not going to be ready today, right?" "No, sir." So he would have had me wait on I don't know how long, but it's not going to be ready today because he has to charge the battery. And he has to put it on a charger and test how many percentage points it goes up. It goes up 3 percentage points in an hour. The battery's shot. I told him the battery's shot. In 45 minutes, if he would have looked at it, he would see the battery shot. I know the battery's shot. He doesn't know, and he's the service technician. Okay, so I tell him I'll come back in a couple of days. "Yes, sir, that's good. That's the best." "Why didn't you tell me that before?" I had to go up to the 4th floor, down to the basement, across the street to the BQ Mall, to the hospital from the BQ Mall. Then I go back upstairs. It's like, well, first I went to ICM. Then ICM is like 5 kilometers away. Then I come back, and then I walk from the mini terminal to the BQ Mall and go up 4 flights of escalators. But it's altogether, it's at least a kilometer of walking that I did for no reason, just because the guy didn't tell me the truth about when it's going to be done. So, okay, so they have no respect at all for your time. None whatsoever. They don't care about your time. So what you need to do is, in order to compensate for their lack of professionality, let's say, they don't do this stuff maliciously. They just don't understand business. Okay, so now you have to ask every possible question, one question at a time, and it helps if you write it down so you can keep track, because they can't keep track. They will not keep track of what they said. If you come back tomorrow and say, "But you said sorry," they will say sorry. They're very pleasant, but most of the people here in the Philippines are trained to do one job: sell something to you. Okay. Now I went into a linen store to buy some linen to repair my pant, my hapon. I went into a linen store to buy some linen for my pants to do repair, and there was a material I liked, and I just need a patch, like 1 foot by 2 foot. I was going to buy half a yard, so Daisy has stuff to do when she has to repair the pants again. What's going to make the pockets different? So anyway, the woman says to me, "Sir, we have a piece over here for you." I picked out the piece. It was gold, like a yellow gold, heavy. It's called a tweed, whatever that is. Hard to rip it. So we have a tweed over here that would be great for you. It was 4 yards of material, same color, 4 yards of material, a different thickness, but it was. I said, "Well, I only need enough to patch my pants. I have the hole right here." Showed it all. "Yes, sir, but you will have extra." So they're going to sell you 4 cubic yards, 4 square yards of material when you're only going to buy a half a yard originally. Because you could buy a quarter yard, that would have been enough too. I figured I'd buy a half yard for extra patches and to make pockets out. No, they want to sell you 4 square yards. They don't care. They don't care if you don't use it. The answer to you, I will not use it, sir. Give it to your neighbor. Give it to a Filipino. He will be able to use it. So they're basically selling you something you don't need so that you can give it to one of your neighbors. Now, Lord knows I give my neighbors enough stuff. Anything I don't need, I give away. But okay, so now I'm going to look at the comments. I have no idea. I see somebody that's been banned. Let's see. Michael McFarland. See, now I agree with you. Michael McFarland said that he bitched over 25 centavos. I'll show you what a centavo is. It's a quarter of a peso. Okay, this is a peso. Okay, I think the copper looking one is a centavo, and the other one is like a half a peso, a quarter of a peso, and a centavo is, I don't know, one is half a peso and one is a quarter of a peso. Okay, he bitched over 25 centavos, and I do too, because let me tell you why. You go to a supermarket that's, oh, remind me about the ICM Mall. Oh, they don't care about your time at all. You go to the ICM Mall, you have 15,000 pesos or 10,000 pesos worth of groceries in the cart, and it comes out to something and 25 centavos. So you still have 75 centavos left that they owe you. They don't have these coins. Do they round it off to the lowest number? No, they round it off to the highest number. So I said to the woman, I did the same thing. Give me back, where's the 75 centavos? Give me back my change. No, sir, we don't have no coins today, sir. I said, well, okay, then make it to the lowest number. Cannot do that, sir. I left 12,000 pesos worth of stuff in the car. So you don't have my centavo, my 75. Come back another day when you have centavos. So a woman, and I walked away, just walked away from the counter. Done. We're done. Just give me back my money, and that's it. We're done. If you don't, you're a supermarket selling 1,000,000 pesos an hour sometimes of food, because they have express lines for vendors. You see a vendor with 25 shopping carts. Okay. If you don't have you're selling 1,000,000 pesos sometimes in an hour on Christmas or holiday, and you don't have your centavos, you don't have change, or they don't have pesos, or this is the way it is here. They will take from you, but they will not give anything back. So they'll take your 75 centavos. They don't get it. The cash register person doesn't get it. It goes into maybe buying them a cake at the end of the week, when if they're overrun or something like that, if they have extra money. But they will not take off the centavo because they don't have change. So Michael McFarland understands business. This is business. You have a multi-billion peso per month business and you don't have change, which, by the way, I've been going to the bank for 2 years. This is another fun fact about the Philippines. In 2 years, every time I go to the bank, I ask for change. And once in 2 years that I made a withdrawal and I wanted change with the withdrawal, I only want like 20 coins, 20 tens, 25s, and 20 pesos. Once in 2 years, they gave me pesos. And I said, well, if you're only going to give me pesos, then give me 200 pesos. So we don't have enough. I said, get the manager, please get the manager. And I said, Doris, I need you to get, I need some change. I've been coming here for 2 years, almost 2 years. I want pesos change, okay? I don't care what you have to do to do. Go take it out of all the registers. So she went into the vault and she got me wrapped up change, 200 pesos in change. So let's go back to the ICM mall. So I'm in the mall. This is another trip in the mall. This is about people not caring about your time. So I fill up a shopping cart. I mean, loaded to the brink, because they have stuff in the ICM that they don't have in the BQ mall. Okay, so I'm in the BQ mall. I'm in the ICM mall. I got 3/4 of a cart of all kinds of stuff that they don't have anyplace else. I don't even care that it's more money. You just can't find it someplace else. They had like stainless steel strainers to, well, the one I have is metal and it rusted out. It was only 40 pesos, but it rusted out in a year. You can't use it to strain flour or rice or anything. It's just rusty. Okay, so I wanted stuff like that. So I get this cart, and when I walked into the store, it was like 25, 30, 40, 50 shopping carts all lined up, because in the counters in the ICM mall, some is small distance between the register and the food, and some is a big distance between the register and the bread aisle. Like, and when I say a big distance, I'm talking 9 meters, maybe 10 meters. And that's so the lines could get lined up 10 meters deep. So I looked at all these shopping carts and I'm going, why are there so many shopping carts full of stuff here? Usually people leave 1 or 2 items that they can't pay for. Well, I do my shopping, hour and 15 minutes to do my shopping. They don't care about your time. That's the point of this part of the conversation. Okay, so I do my shopping and I get back and I look at the line. No kidding aside, I'm not telling you a fib. I'm telling you the honest truth. There was 28 or 30 people, 30 shopping carts. Okay, I don't know how many more people were still shopping to bring carts back onto the line. So I walked up to what I thought was an open counter because I wasn't paying attention to the original 28 or so carts. It looked like it was open, but she goes, no, sir, we're not open. You have to wait online. I turned around, looked at the line. I says, what is that's the line? She goes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go again. Yes, sir. So I said, well, I don't want to wait on that line. Sir, we have no cashiers. I said, okay, bring me to the manager. Come out of there, please, Polly Hogue, and bring me to the manager. I'd like to talk to the manager. So my plan was to go get the manager and have her open up a cash register and check me out. I don't care about the other 28 people. I'm not interested in them. So while she's going, I will get you somebody to bring you to the manager. So now she's fetching a gentleman, nice guy, and with that, I said to the woman online next to me, where the register was open, I said, how long did you wait? I don't know, sir. I said, well, about how long did you wait? Did you wait 2 hours? Yes, sir. Did you wait more than 2 hours? Yes, sir. I said, you waited online for more than 2 hours to buy groceries? Yes, sir. This woman needed her groceries. Okay, understandable. So I walked up the line. I said, there was a couple of foreigners. I said, you're going to wait on this line? He said, yeah. So you don't have nothing better to do in life than to wait. It's a 2.5 hour wait because he was towards the end of the line. I don't know how long the line was when the woman was there. He says, 2.5 hours? Like this, like, am I lying? Are you lying to me? I said, no, the woman, you saw me talking to the woman because everybody was looking, because I was a little bit animated. I wasn't upset, but I said, this is a 2.5 hour wait to the people. And they put their heads down like little puppy dogs. I mean, you people are really going to wait 2.5 hours? Are you crazy? I made a joke out of it. So I started singing. I'm going to wait 2.5 hours to pay for my groceries in a supermarket that has 27 registers on one side and 18 on the other side. And 30 of them were closed. There was like 5 registers, 27 registers, 5 were open, 18 on the other side, maybe 14 were open. But they had 25 registers closed total, maybe more. I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and count. So the man comes. So she took counted that I was on. This is what you get in the Philippines, baby. This is it. So he walks from the checkout side of the counter to the part where you put the groceries on the thing. I have my shopping cart with me. I said, where's the manager? He goes like this, points like this, just like this, over there, sir. I said, where over there? Over there. He sure as a, when he pointed to over there, there was still, we were like on register 10, there was still 17 registers, and then the other line on the other side had the people checking out with the other registers, and the line was 15 feet deep, and then there's a hallway, and he just points over there. So where over there? Over there, sir, by the registers. I said, you bring me over there. So he brings me to the registers. And he goes like this, the manager is over there. I said, where is the manager? Bring me to the manager, please. Bring me to the manager. She's over there, sir. I said, you could have brought me there already. Please move your feet. Put your feet 1 foot in front of the other, like this. What? Lacau. Michael Fazio to the manager, Polly Hope. So he walks me through the cash registers. There was one that was open, not open, and we walked through the turnstile thing there. And he walks me across the hallway, if you know the ICM, and then he walks me to the right, 3, possibly 4 stores down to the right. And on the left-hand side, there's a counter that does not say supermarket management or anything on the counter. I didn't look up because I was looking at the people at the counter. There was like 6 people there. So I said, where is the manager for the supermarket? So the first person I asked was the manager. So I'm the manager. So I said, look, you know, ma'am, there's a 2.5 hour wait for the, yes, sir, we have no cashiers. I said, I don't want to hear that. I'm not interested in that. What I would like for you to do is walk me over to the cash register, open it up, get a change drawer, open it up, and check me out now. I'm in a hurry. And I pointed down to my foot. I said, I have to be at the hospital in 45 minutes. I can't be late for this doctor's appointment. Sir, I'm sorry about your foot. No. I need my stuff checked out. Polyhold, please. I will, Abulai, give my, Abulai pesos. No problem. Abulai, I will give you pesos. Now, cash. Abulai pesos. Check me out, please. No, sir, cannot do that. So she walked back to me to see if somebody else was going to open up, or maybe somebody's going to open up a register. But that didn't happen. So I got this shopping cart full of stuff. I can't wait 2.5 hours. I want to go back to the hospital and get this addressed, the issue with my foot addressed. And I walked away from the car. I said, ma'am, see this stuff here? You're going to take this. I wish I didn't do a video. I was so flustered from people saying, yes, sir, no, sir, sorry, sir. I was flustered. If I was to make a video, it would be a derogatory nature. And far be it from me to be derogatory in the Philippines. You're just not allowed to do that. You can be upset. I have legitimate cause to be upset. Nobody in their right mind would wait 2.5 hours. So the Filipinos that were online, there must have been a psychological need for that stuff. But nobody that didn't need food that day would wait 2.5 hours. I'd come back the next morning at 8 o'clock and get my shopping cart full of stuff. And you're gone in 25 minutes. 25 minutes from the time you get online with 2 or 3 people. They don't care about your time. So she didn't open up the thing. I said, there's almost like 80 items in there. She goes, yes, sir. I said, now you're going to pay somebody 40 pesos an hour to put this stuff back on the shelf. It's going to take 2 hours for them to find all this stuff. You're going to pay somebody for 2 hours work when you could have just checked me out for 40 pesos. That's going to cost you 80 or 100 pesos to put the stuff back on the shelf. She goes, that's all right, sir. She goes, well, it's okay for you. It's okay for me. I walked out. Thank you. Have a nice day. And I looked at those people online. I went like this. I said, people are nuts. You're nuts. You're crazy. More specifically, I was talking to a foreigner that understood perfect English. I said, you're crazy, dude. You are because he was far away. And the way I wanted to be was past him. I was going to the far end of the supermarket. So I had to walk back from the, we have a blackout. Oh, that's wonderful. We can't have a blackout because I have no battery in my computer. My fan went out. No, we don't have a blackout. Okay, so it's sweltering hot here. So let me check the comments. If you guys have, If you have, okay, if you have questions about the Philippines and you want them addressed, specific questions, where to live, how to save money on airline tickets, how to save money on hotels, how to review places to live or places to stay, depending on your particular likes or dislikes. You might like the city. Coming here as a sex tourist, do not contact me. There's nothing in my life about sex tourism. I could tell you everything I know about it, but I wouldn't, because that topic just hurts my head. Being that I live here and I lived in a hotel with sex pots, I know the ins and outs of the sex tourist industry to a larger degree than most people. I have yet, in 4 years and 7 months, I have yet even once to set foot in a bar. Okay. I have never, I gave a girl a 500 peso phone once. I bought her dinner and I was here about a week, and she asked me for a 500 peso phone. She was very poor. She was in clothes that needed to be washed. I bought her a chicken. I bought her 2 loaves of bread, some sweet rolls, and she asked me, could you please buy me a phone?" Which later I found out they just bring back to the store with the receipt, get the money. So she made 500 pesos for the day. But woe is me. So I had a nice conversation. It's just a girl I met. She was very nice. She lived in poverty. You could tell the clothes were disheveled. She was a little dirty on the clothes were dirty. The shoes were all scuffed up. She wore shoes, but they were like old shoes, something you'd throw out. So I did buy a girl a 500 peso, 499 pesos at one time. So, and I'm sure she cashed it in, but I don't know that for a fact. Maybe it was her first phone. So I'm going to look at the comments. But getting back, you have questions about the Philippines, I will answer them. I will address how to buy property. I will give you lawyers in Bohol to get you a legitimate land contract to buy or to rent. I will get you legitimate contractors to use here in Bohol. Legitimate contractors that once they have signed the paper, the job is going to get done. There's 2 of them that I know of. I will get them for you, but you need to become a member of my Patreon account. If you're not a member of my Patreon account and you're asking me questions like that, I will just ignore you because you ignore me. You want something for free. But my lawyer, in a video I just posted, for 1 minute, I was on the phone with the secretary and 3 minutes with the lawyer asking him a question, a simple question. And he said, I want to ask you one simple question. I just need a yes or a no answer. Is this okay? And he said, yes. And I said, how much do I owe you? He said, 500 pesos. I was on the phone with him for 3 minutes and his secretary, who's his wife, for a minute. He charged me the equivalent of 2 days' pay for a Filipino and maybe 3 months' savings for a Filipino. So if you wish to have Danny Gordon, Danny, Danny, I know you did that last time, and I sure don't expect that. Oh man, you can take it back, Danny. I'm doing this. I'm having fun here. I, but all right, Danny, you have a free pass. Thank you, Danny. If you have Steve, I'm sorry to hear about your wife. All right, Steve, if you want, I'll give you a call. He's a member of my Patreon account, so if you see me answering his questions, um, that's why. And Danny, he did the same thing last night. Danny, I'm cool, Danny. I'm really thank you. What you got to tell me something I could do for you. I don't know what I could do for you. I could save you money. I could save you. All right. Anyway, Danny doesn't have to become a member of my Patreon account. Danny, that's more than generous. I don't expect that, and thank you. Okay, thanks very much. So I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay, Danny. Yeah. Well, if you're moving here, if you need even a lawyer on another island for a land deal, okay, I know two lawyers. My lawyer, who's an honest man, as honest as a lawyer can be. And I know another lawyer who's a Filipina, and she's above board and honest on the island of Cebu. So I have a lawyer on Bohol and Cebu, but she could recommend somebody through the Bar Association if you want to do a legitimate deal. She could write the contract for you where you would never be afraid to get hurt, and you would work that out with her. She's very reasonable too, and she's my personal friend. In fact, they were talking about coming to visit me, but Daisy May is not here, so they held off on that. But thank you, Danny. Okay. And thank you, Steve, also. Okay, Michael White says he has an honest lawyer in Las Piñas. Okay, well, I mean that's what we need here, like somebody to communicate. That's why I leave the comments open here so people can. Okay, well, Danny's already got property in Davao. Okay, well, okay, well, you probably know more about the Philippines than I do, but thank you. All right, so I'm going to go back and review the comments from the beginning. Well, you know what, Danny? One thing I could certainly do for you is if you ever wanted to come here, I would get you a discount on a hotel nearby that you would on a white sand beach that you'd be flipping over, sideways. Um, a friend of mine owns a hotel, and I'll get you at least no less than a 30% discount in a beautiful hotel, very close. I mean, 100 feet away from a white sand beach. Now, if you ever wanted to do that in on the island of Bohol, but I would tell you more about it personally. The bigger hotels, they don't give discounts, but this personal friend of mine owns a hotel. I could do that. All right, so all right, all right. Where did you? So where are we here? Oh, I see, Danny. Okay, you were talking about owning the property. Yeah, Danny, they look at me that I'm labor. They think I am labor because I do my own work. So Danny brought up a good point. So it kind of connects with the fact that they think you're rich, but if they see you doing your own work, they think you're poor, and they treat you like you're poor too. They treat you that you don't have the common sense to be retired. Meanwhile, I have the common sense to know better than to try to hire the locals. Although I could recommend two good contractors, but the local help is pretty much the same anywhere you go in the world. They're laborers. They don't care if the job gets done or not. So they look at me now not so much, but at first they would say, "Well, you have no money." They would say, I thought you were rich because I'm not hiring the locals. They thought I'm poor, but I'm not. I just don't want to be aggravated all day. So Danny, Danny has some good rabbi. Ah, Scott Del Fuego. I put up a video that Scott absolutely loves. It's I do marriage counseling, And under the guise of marriage counseling by a male chauvinist pig. YouTube would not allow that. They probably would allow that video on YouTube, but I wouldn't take the chance. So I made it private, like about 200 other Obama videos and John McCain videos, and put it over on Patreon. Scott laughed for an hour. I forgot the name of the video. Marriage counseling. Let's see if we could go here. Marriage counseling. I don't see it. Anyway, it's a. Oh, wait a second. Where did we go? Yeah, hold on. Uh-oh. Where's my? I'm live somewhere. I lost it. Let's see. Huh. Where's that live thing? Oh, here we are. Okay, I'm back. Still haven't figured this out. Anyway, marriage counseling by a male chauvinist pig. I did a whole series of 5 of them. Some of them are still on YouTube. Yeah, lefty all around says exactly, Michael. They ask for money, but they don't ask. They don't ask for money. They say, "Give me money." They now to me that would be rude. To them, that's normal. Yes, you're right, Lefty. How to Toast lives on $750 a month. More than enough. I don't care what anybody says. I think Daisy and I live on that much, and we do work and eat well. So $750 a month. If you have, let's say, 7,500, pay $150 a month rent, which you can easily get, that leaves you $600. You need $50 a month for your immigration. By the time you pay all your stamps and the ACR card, that leaves you $600. $100. If you eat inexpensive local food from the fresh fruit and vegetables market, and you don't go into the malls, you can get away for 2 people for another $150 a month. That leaves you $450. You need $50 a month for transportation if you use the jeepneys. That leaves you $400. $750 a month is reasonable. You can still go out once a week and have dinner at a buffet and have a nice dinner. You can buy, you can have this minute burger thing. You can buy burgers, two cheeseburgers for 67 pesos and the French fry for another 40 pesos. You get a meal for like $3. You get a Filipino meal with rice and fish for $1.25. You could live on $750 a month. You're right about that. Danny Gordon has been having this conversation for years, I guess, about the Philippines and the people asking money. Hell, he'll get one that can make you good money and put her to work. Mine made me a lot of money. I lost the beginning of that conversation. I don't really want to go back and search for it, but it's all bulla. It's all bulla. That's right. About the 380 pesos a day. That's 8 times 65, 63 pesos an hour. The secretary for a lawyer makes 60 pesos an hour. That's it. Okay. It went off. I don't know why. I'm not going to go look at the breakers now. Escaping to the Philippines. No, my cell phone is an Oppo. Paid 7,000 pesos for it, and I have never had a problem with it. But thank you. I do not need a cell phone, and Daisy's cell phone is working fantastic. I don't know where Daisy is right now, but I'm sure her phone is still working. Talking about courting a good girl. 6 months of courting a woman. You know, that's very possible. When you meet a good woman in the Philippines, you're not um, you're not going to sleep with her. Man, is it hot in here? I need to put. I'm going to put the other fan on. I have another one. What happened? Okay, 1 minute. You're looking for. Here is the problem right here. Okay, plug. Okay. All right, we're coming. There we go. Maybe my one of my bags fell off the bed and knocked out the plug. Okay, so yeah, you're not gonna meet now. Daisy was a different story, but I talked to Daisy. Talk about a good girl, wherever she is. God bless her soul. I talked to Daisy for 1 hour a day, and in the beginning, I explained to Daisy that every day at 7 o'clock, or unless we changed the time, she had to be on the computer. And for 91 days, she missed 5 days because she was in a hospital. She got dengue fever. And so, but in the 91 days, besides the hospital stay, I think we didn't talk maybe 3 nights. And could have been internet was out for me or out for her. But that was never an issue. But so basically, I caught it. I went there, sorry, and I paid for her mother and her nephew to come to the city of Davao and meet me there and spend. Well, I paid for her father too, but he didn't come, so they didn't use the money. And so this is what I had to do. And then I met the mother and Daisy and the nephew, and I was going to get another room, but they didn't have another room. And the mother said, no, 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 we'll all stay in the same room, which was okay with me. But I just thought she wanted to save money, but she was just protecting Daisy. Unbeknownst that there was no reason to protect Daisy for me, I never forced a woman to do anything they didn't really want to do. And I don't even understand that mentality. You're with a woman and she doesn't want to do something, just go find another one. Go find another one. There's lots of them. And not just in the Philippines, they're everywhere. Okay, so let's go. We're going to go on. Thank you again, escaping to the Philippines. But no, I don't need a phone. Okay, so. Okay, escaping to the Philippines. He's been here for a year now, and he wants people to check out his channel. Now, he always comments on my channel. And I have these new rules just for time purposes. I don't have time. I've been going back and forth to the hospital every other day to have my wounds. I dressed them in between, but to have the wound looked at, because they were worried that I would have to go on intravenous drugs if there was bone damage. So I don't have time. And then with the injury, when the pain was so bad, oh God, if you go to my, if you become a member of my Patreon, you could see when they're removing what they're doing. They're working on my foot. It bring tears to your eyes because there was tears in my eyes. So if that's what brings you pleasure, well then there's a half a dozen videos with pictures, but that are just too graphic to put on YouTube. Number one, and number two, that's a personal thing. If you want to be my personal friend, just show me a little consideration. I don't want everybody to be Dan Gordon. I don't expect even that's like just really unnecessary too. But I appreciate it. But I mean, I don't. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Steve. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the comments. I don't know who that Popeye man is. I do watch. I do listen to that show after, not sometimes I watch it live. I just don't get involved with the politics there, but I enjoy the drama. God, that's hilarious, that show. Let's see. Oh yeah, yep, that's true. Escaping to the Philippines. You run out of money in the Philippines? Don't run out of money in the Philippines. I don't know what to tell you. Don't let it happen. Don't even let it get close. I have 2 bank accounts. Is for the serious of heart. Okay, I have a problem. You need to be able to with my foot was a small money to do the repairs and stuff like that. But if you get into a big issue here, you get into a car accident, get hit by a car, and you need money, they're going to put you in jail if you don't have the money. If you had a car and you got into an accident and you hurt somebody, you need to pay that hospital bill right then and there each day, whatever it is, the doctors. Otherwise, you're going to go to jail, and then you'll have to retrieve somebody to get the money for you. You need to do not fall down in the Philippines financially. Steve's having some fun. Okay, so you're talking about meeting girls on the internet. I'll talk about meeting girls on the internet for a minute. I have a Dragon Naturally Speaking program, word program. As fast as the words come out of my mouth, they go on the screen. I talked to 3,000 women before I met Daisy. And that was a fluke. She was only 22 years old. And she said she had a 44-inch bust. And that day, my landlord was Filipina, said, why don't you go for a young one? I'm going, what's like a young one? She goes, 19 or 20. I'm going, I'm not doing that. She goes, Mike, take my word for it. Find a young one. And her husband is English. She said, good idea, Mike. So that day, I see Daisy's profile, and it says, this is how I met Daisy, how I really met Daisy. It said her height, her weight, and her measurements. And she said she had a 44, 23, 30, 30, 32, or 33-inch waist. And I looked at her, and she had one of them, she had a picture that made them look a lot bigger than they were. And I just said, if you have 44-inch breasts, you're going to tip over. If you had 44-inch breasts, you would tip over. And I went on to the next profile. And but I did talk to 3,000 people. I even saved the conversations because some of them were so ridiculous. I would say, what island are you on? This is what you get on the internet. What island are you on? I'm from Cebu. Well, I'm going to Cebu because in my profile it said I'm going to Cebu. Okay, you talk to them for an hour. They have a job. They don't have a job. They're babysitting. They have a sari store, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to be there in like 3 weeks. Oh, yes, sir. But I have a problem. What's the problem? Well, right now I'm in Manila. That's what you told me you were in. I live in Cebu. I'm not at Cebu. I was born in Cebu. I'm not at Cebu. That's the kind of garbage you get on the internet. So to fix that problem, you need to give them not 5,000 pesos for the airplane ticket, but 10,000 pesos so that they can buy a dress and a pair of shoes to look presentable for you. You send them $200. That's the equivalent of, they might make 4,000 pesos a month. That's the equivalent of 2.5 months. You just send them. You're never going to hear from them again. Forget that. It's hard to meet a girl on the internet. Anyway, Daisy sends me back a message the next day. Hello. That was it. Hello. And I'm going, wow, I got another genius here. It turned out to be okay. Well, I don't know where she is now, but maybe I'll find out soon. I don't know. Okay, so you guys are having fun on here. That's nice. Now, Danny Gordon just said it all in a nutshell. You want to meet a woman? You want to meet a woman? Go. Okay, First of all, there's a woman in City Hardware that bends over backwards to be nice to me and always makes sure to ask me where my akong babae is, my girlfriend, or my asawa when she forgets, my wife. I always tell her she's home cooking or painting or she's fixing shoes or something like that. Oh, okay. So I asked her why she asks. She's a beautiful girl, the kind of girl you look at and say, she has to have a boyfriend, right? I mean, she's got a boyfriend. Looking like that, she must get a million people must ask her, especially foreigners, not a million, but probably 10, 15 people a week probably ask her out. Probably zero of those 10 or 15 are serious about a serious relationship. They just want to make a move. But she said, because I'm single, but I have a girlfriend. She goes, I know. That's why I like to keep in touch with you. Because she knows I've been with years and she wants to keep in touch with me in case I break up with Daisy. Where is Daisy? I don't know. But okay, so Danny has a point. Go to the store, go to the supermarket, go to the vegetable store. You can even go into the supermarket and ask a manager, you say, my name is so-and-so, I'm here seriously looking for a woman. And they will look and ask, there's 75 girls working in the store. They will ask if there's a single girl looking for a foreign boyfriend. I am not joking about this. I have had many. Well, I have a friend of mine that's single. They will find you a woman. The Filipinos are very hospitable like that. They will actively look for a woman, but they will even ask you what kind of woman you're looking for. Are you looking for a long-term relationship or a short-term relationship? They will find you one. Same with the tricycle drivers. They will have 400 cousins. Some of the cousins are good girls, and some of them are 1,000 pesos a night. But they all have friends. The problem is figuring out if the ones that were 1,000 pesos a night are the good girls that they're going to be tomorrow when they're dating you. That's the problem. But if you're just looking for a girlfriend, just ask somebody. Ask a police officer in Cebu, do you know any nice girls? He introduced me to his sister. Just said, don't abuse her. And I talked to her on Skype. She wasn't the kind of girl. She didn't speak enough English. She was nice, though. But a regular police officer, I asked him if he knew there was a woman in Cebu. He introduced me to his sister. So don't be afraid to ask people. Just come here and meet a woman. That's good advice, Danny. Thank you. And Danny also made another good point. Dan, if you know, first of all, you need to find a woman. It's to your advantage if the woman has a job. It shows that she has social skills, personality, work ethics. Danny brought up another good point. You really need to know who you're dealing with here, unless you're just looking for a one-night stand, and I don't advise that. Okay, I just don't advise it. There are so many scams. God, we're moving from one subject to another. One thing, it was something I wanted to talk about anyway. You meet a girl and she's married, and her boyfriend knows she's married, or her husband, who also knows that she's married because she's married to him. One of them will hook you up with the wife of another man, and then you're in the house. I talked about this in a previous video, and the police come knocking on your door, and you're in bed with the woman. You're going to jail. You're going to jail, and then it's up to the woman and the husband, because the husband might be the one who sent the police there. It's up to the woman and the husband how much money you have to pay them to get out of jail. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. That's the truth. You guys can talk about that yourself. So one night stands in the Philippines, 99 out of 100 times, all things work out well. But if you end up in jail with a married woman because of a married woman, yep, you're going to have a problem. Okay, so Danny's got all kinds of good advice here. Leading with your wallet means that you're showing them what you could buy them. I'll tell you a story about Daisy. I know her about a week, and she told me she was sick. I said, okay. She told me she's going into the hospital. It's okay. She said, I have dengue fever. I said, okay. So what are you telling me? She goes, I won't be able to talk to you for. I said, okay. When you get out of the hospital, you let me know. I thought it was a scam. Turns out she really was in the hospital with dengue fever. So somehow or another, we were also on Facebook with each other, and she sent me a picture of the hospital bed with her in it with the intravenous in her arm. So she really was. But I didn't know if she was in the hospital that day or 6 months ago. I said, okay, when you get out of the hospital, you let me know. And then when she got out of the hospital, somehow the parents paid for it. I didn't give her any money for that. I didn't know if it was a scam or not. And she never asked me for a penny. She said I had some money. She had money saved. That's rare. She actually had some of the hospital money. I never asked her how much because I didn't want to talk about money with her. I kept it out of the subject altogether. Brings back to Danny saying, leading with your wallet. If you're telling them what you could do for them, they're going to be all over you like white on rice. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you just want to pick up a woman for the night, go to a massage parlor, pay 1,000 pesos, and do what you got to do. But don't try to get one of these province girls by buying them stuff. It'll never end. It'll never end. It's whatever you give this month, you're expected to give that much or more next month. It never stops either. Don't make the mistake of thinking that once you date a woman, you're going to stop giving. If you're giving money, especially if you're giving money to a family, oh God, the family. I don't. Daisy and I have an agreement. Okay, it's what money that her mother gets, I give to Daisy. If she wants to spend it on herself or she wants to spend it on her mother, which it's not much. Okay, but that was the agreement. Until we have children and or get married and or have the hotel finished, she gets no money. She just gets an allowance, and she never spends the allowance. So she's no, I don't need that much. She won't send her money. She'll only send her mother a certain amount of money. She will not give her mother any more money. So she gives it back to me at the end of the month. I say, how many pesos do you have? She says, I have 2,000 pesos. How could you have 2,000 pesos? I only gave you X. She goes, I didn't spend any. But what about your mother? She goes, not this month. Not this, maybe next month. She gives it back to me. We're on a budget. We are on a budget, but we don't go. I don't have a boat. I consider that about as much of a budget as can be. That I don't have a boat. Even a small little pontoon boat with a 7 horsepower Evinrude would be a boat. All right, I'm going to skip ahead. All right. That's right, Danny. Every Filipina wants to be in love. Even you get a girl that was from the street, you treat them right. I know one of my uncles did that. Found a woman that slept with every man. This is going back into the 50s. Found a woman that slept with everybody. They used to call her, they used to say she had round heels because you could just blow on her and she'd be on her back. And he married her. Turned out to be a good woman. Not my cup of tea, but Scott Scott would know about something like that. All funny playing until they remove your balls with a coconut cutter. Yeah, that could happen. And you know what? Nobody would care. Police wouldn't care. Your neighbors, your Filipino neighbors wouldn't care. if something bad happens to you here in the Philippines, that's something else I should talk about. But if you piss off your neighbors, it's time for you to move. Don't stay someplace where you're not wanted in the Philippines. Go someplace where no one knows you. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. This Danny's a man after my own heart. I gotta say. I just Danny. You know what? If you're still here, you should. How can I get your email? If there's some way for you to give me your email. Okay. Let me see if you're still here. I'm going to go to the end of the comments. If you give me your email, I'll send you a list of the videos I have on Patreon. So I'm looking. I'm at the bottom of the comments. Yeah. Okay, Danny, take let me send you. I will send you some of the videos that I have on Patreon only. That I can definitely for a laugh. Uh, you have Skype? Do you have Skype, Danny? Homar said, yes, Daisy May is a very rare girl. Okay, okay. I can't. I don't know where Daisy is right now. Okay, you send me your. Ah, that's right. You send me your email address, and I'll put together a list of videos that you can pass them on to your friends, but they're private videos. Most of them are age restricted, but that shouldn't be a problem. If you would do that, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Now, Homar says, yes, Daisy is yeah, okay. All right. I know every Filipino woman on this block. I know every one of them. I know every woman on this block. Okay. They all walk to the beach and they all bring back pieces of boats, coconuts. They dry out the coconuts and they use them for fires. And they bring back pieces of bamboo that float up on the beach and palm fronds, and they dry it in their backyard. They all this is a working class neighborhood, but none of them do carpentry. None of them mix cement. None of them do electrical work, but they all work hard. Now I have pictures of a 75-year-old woman who's a friend of mine, probably my best friend and my first friend here in this area. She's now 76. I met her when she was 72. Maybe she was 73. They invited me to her birthday party. I forgot. 4 o'clock in the morning, the party starts. Music, flowers, food, barbecues, beer, rum. Anyway, um, you, Daisy is, come on, man. Who's going to go take the drill and put a drill bit in the drill and go drill holes in your shoe and then get a big, like an airplane stitch and needle or a canvas stitch and needle and sew up your shoes and then make the shoe racks? She's a really good girl. I don't know where she is right now, but she is a good girl. Daisy. Oh, no Daisy here. Okay. There's a guy named Homer that asked if he could see the videos too. I don't even know you. I am sorry if I don't remember your name, but I don't know who you are. If, you know, we have that now. I don't think I'll take the time to send you the videos. That's what I have a Patreon account for. Now, Danny's, for some strange reason, he has contributed in what they call, I don't even know what it's called. I have to go up and look. I don't know what it's called. One of those money bombs where they give you money on here. He has done that twice, Homer. I'm not asking you for money either, Homer. Don't think I'm asking you for money. Danny did it out of, he likes the idea that someone's doing this, and he can do that apparently. But I'm not asking anybody for any money. I'll never do that. For my Patreon, you receive a service. I can get you discounts on hotels. But you can watch videos that are not on YouTube. Basically, that's, if you want comedy, I got comedy. I got comedy that you can't put on YouTube. So that's one of the benefits. Plus, if you want to talk to somebody about moving to the Philippines, I can help you find a place. And I can help you save money on an airline ticket. I don't sell airline tickets, but I can tell you how to receive a discount whilst looking for an airline ticket. That in and of itself, the discount I can save you would be the equivalent of 5 years at $3 a month in some cases. So, okay. Homer is Daisy's Facebook friend. It means nothing to me, dude. I haven't been on Facebook in 3 months except to see Danny's. I'm sorry. Do you talk to Daisy on a regular basis on Facebook? Because I don't know who you are. Okay, you're not making any sense. You put down quotes, barge in Subic Bay. The British biker, this is no good. Camera is too tight, too high for a nipple shot. You want a nipple shot? I'll give you a side view right here. Did that get you going there, British biker? I'll try to get, yeah, baby. British biker, you got some sense of humor, dude. British biker makes videos. British biker makes cool videos too. Some of the places he goes are way more remote than I would want to go to by myself with some children. Dude, I got to give you a lot of credit. Sterling Med, yeah. British Mike will bring it to some pool somewhere. There's nobody there except him and his kids. There's no security. It doesn't look like you got chutzpah. I'll tell you that. Thanks. You're welcome, my friend. I hope all is well. I between my foot injury and the infection, I've been going back and forth to the hospital. I've been really busy. I haven't even watched anybody else's videos. I'll check out one of yours. I saw you put out a video about, a couple of 2 days ago or yesterday that somebody spammed your video or flagged it for something, but I didn't get to watch it. Okay, I'll ask Daisy. When I find Daisy, I'll ask her who Homer is. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, Homer. No, British biker. No. Lefty all around. British biker told me a long time ago he's tighter than a crab's ass. Okay. And I don't know how tight it, well, I know how tight a crab's ass. It's waterproof. So you can't get money in or out of a crab's ass. And British biker is tighter than a clam or a crab's. I think it was a clam, he said. Same thing, though, same principle. You're not getting any pesos out of British biker. And that's okay. We enjoy talking to each other. Okay. My eyes, Lachenberg. Now, you always leave nice comments on my videos. I kind of feel bad, but I just don't review the comments as much as I don't respond to the comments. I've explained it in many videos. If you want responses, if you want to say hello and have a personal conversation or information about the Philippines or watch some really cool videos, you'd have to be a member of my Patreon account. And British Biker and I have been, we've talked and we enjoy each other's conversation. And he told me straight up, he's tighter than a crab's ass. So no offense, British Biker, but that's pretty. I know a clam's ass when I see one, and you are a clam's ass. It was a funny accent. Christy Alley. Christy Alley is from that group Friends. Okay, now frog's ass is waterproof. Yeah, they're all. Yeah, but a British biker, he's a duck's ass, tight. That's what he is. The duck sauce. Derek Robbins. You also leave a lot of comments, Derek. I apologize for not leaving responses, but those days are over. You already know that it's possible to join my Patreon account, and I'll Skype with you or talk to you. But if that's not important, that's okay. It's okay for me. I really don't have a lot of time. I talk to about 5 different people once every 2 weeks, except one gentleman I speak with on my on the phone from my Patreon account. That's good. I get to have great conversations with people that understand English, and they get to laugh because I'm a lot more fun in real life than I am here. Some of the stuff I want to say, I have to really pay attention to what I'm saying. Yeah, Homer, I did that. I bought a barge in Traverse City, Michigan, a 30 by 50 self-propelled barge on May 10th. I went morning of May 10th of 1988, and I bought it in the afternoon. Spent a couple of weeks preparing it to leave, and I brought it all the way from Traverse City, Michigan. Well, I had a captain that broke down. He ran me aground on some rocks. Cost me a month of repairs, and I dropped him off in Fort Austin, Michigan, and then I fixed the barge and took it back. Yep, that's a true story. You could look it up. You could look up the videos of. I have some videos of barge dragging on my YouTube channel if you're interested, Homer. Barge dragon, BARGEDRAGON. Okay, Derek. Well, thanks for answering. That's right, VLS. Okay, so one of the other points that I wanted to make, I brushed on it briefly, is okay, where should I go with this? I'm thinking. Okay. Once, I don't know how to say this. Okay, once you start giving, okay, when I moved here in 2014, I was living pretty much where I live now. Not exactly where I live now, but close by. And I gave all of those people every day that I walked, every day I went to the store, and on the way back, I always carried 150 pieces of candy. And if I always came back at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the children go to school in the morning, the children would see me coming, but only my block. So if they were on a different block, they would run to my block when they saw me get off the jeepney and then run ahead of me so that they would get their candy. One piece of candy per child every time I got off the jeepney. I always kept a couple of 100 pieces of candy. 150 is all I would ever need, but I always kept that much candy on me because I would go give people candy on the jeepneys also, or give it to their parents to give to them. Okay, something that I was told don't do, but Filipinos are very trusting people, and I'm not going to give them anything bad. So you can give out candy or gum, sealed wrappers. I mean, it's all sealed. So anyway, once you start giving, they will expect you to continue to give forever. It's not like a one-time thing. Okay, I walk down the block now because I don't take, if I get off the jeepney, I have to walk more than 1,500 feet, and through the province roads. Once you start giving, they expect that from you. So when I had an issue with one of the men, I'm not going to get involved with the issue, but when I said I'm not going to give anymore, there is no more giving. It said it stopped. It stopped on Christmas Eve when I asked somebody that I gave 18 pieces of candy to every time I got off the jeepney, 18, 20 pieces of candy. And then the woman had the nerve. She had the nerve to say, Michael, why don't you just, because the bag of candy has 120 pieces in it, or 400, depends on the size of the bag. Why don't you give us the bag, the 120 pieces I had that day? And she goes, we will sort that out between ourselves. I says, no, you only get 20 pieces or 18 pieces. Yes, but you have many bags. Well, I stopped giving to them. Right? I would walk down the whole block and I wouldn't give them nothing. I wouldn't give them a single piece of candy. They would ask for candy. I said, "Oh, well, I'm not going to give you candy anymore because you overstepped your boundaries." They don't understand to overstep their boundaries. Anyway, moving on. Now that's a solid 3 years ago. I stopped giving out candy. Solid. Christmas of 2014. So we're talking 15, 16, 17. We're talking 3.5 years. I stopped giving out candy, and I walk down this block, and people still ask me for candy. Children still stand in front of my house and say, give me candy. They're not even children anymore. Some of them are young adults. Don't ever start giving unless you have a budget for giving, because they will just, I mean, I used to give out 150 pesos a day for 2 or 3 times a week, which is not much, but that's just candy. The men working next door used to get 2 bottles of rum on a Saturday night and 2 or 3, 4 packs of cigarettes, depending on how many men were there. That's another 500 pesos once a week. Okay, it adds up. But they still ask me for rum. They're doing a job from 3.5 years ago. They were building a house. They're doing another job in the middle of the block here. They still stop and ask me for rum. Michael, give me rum. Give me cigarettes. Once you start, they expect that of you. That's the same with giving the family money. You can never reduce the amount of money that you give them. So if you can afford it, give them whatever you feel like that you can afford. If you want to make their life more comfortable, me personally, I'm going to spend the money on building the hotel. But that's something you should be aware of. Once you start giving money to people here, family, they expect, that's like, they consider that, they put that on their ledger that's supposed to come in every month. I mean, when Daisy says that she's not going to give her mother money, all of a sudden the phone rings. And the mother, sweet lady, she wouldn't ask for money, but she'll tell Daisy, we could use the money. But she won't ask for the money, but she'll say she could use it. She's Daisy's mother. She's a sweet lady. Daisy comes from a great family. Now, the father needs to get a job, but I even said to Daisy, I'll bring your father here. He could work on the hotel. No, this is the kind of girl she is. All right, I'm in the middle. Ownership. No, there's no sense of ownership. You're right. Thank you. Danny answered your question, Henry. So if you're a foreigner, you need permits. If you're a local, I don't care what you build. No one's going to say a word. Yeah, you need permits. No, that was British Spiker. That was the day I stopped on Christmas Eve. And I'll tell you why I stopped giving. For 8 months, I told people earlier, I estimated, I kept track actually, 32,000 pesos gave out in candy, cigarettes, and rum. Because I kept the budget. I keep a ledger because I was a businessman. And on Christmas Eve, I walked up the block, or the day before Christmas Eve, I walked up the block, and the family that was at the end of the block that sells fried chicken, roasted chicken, and roasted pork, who I would always give 6 or 7 or 8 pesos, 8 pieces of candy. That's how many people were in that group. And then the woman would tell me she has 2 children that are not here. So I give her an extra 2, so 10 pieces of candy once or twice a week. Okay. I asked her, now she sells the pork for 15 pesos and the chicken for 15 pesos. Okay, roasted chicken, roasted pork. I said, Palihog, would you give me 1 piece of chicken? This is for British Piker for free, libre. Their answer was, this is 2 days before Christmas. I had this plan. This was what I was going to do. And that's what I did. Okay. Most of the stuff I do is planned out in advance. It might seem haphazard to you people. Doesn't matter. I've thought just about everything that I'm doing here through. So I said, would you please give me a piece of chicken? And the woman rubbed her stomach. Ah, kaon, Michael, kaon, hungry. You're hungry. Yes. I, and she could speak some English. She said, we cannot give you chicken. We are poor. We will have no chicken for ourselves. Meanwhile, I'm looking at 5 fat people because at the end of the night, they ate everything that they cooked. Okay, so I I said, no, you know what? Okay, don't give me the chicken. But from now on, I will never give you another piece of candy. No cookies, no polverone, no candy, nothing. Zero. Voila, yamoon. Never. Okay. Okay, Michael, but we are poor. But they're not poor. They own a house. You own a house here. You don't pay taxes. Your taxes might be 50 pesos a year. Once you build on that property, it's your house forever. There's no more bills. It's electric and water. That's it. It's over. And whatever you spend building the house. Okay, Homer, I don't need to hear that kind of crap. I don't need to hear that kind of stuff about Daisy. That's my girlfriend. You want to talk about your mother like that? That's okay. Don't talk about my girl Daisy like that, okay? It's not even funny. I don't even find it funny. I don't talk bad about I could talk bad about some of the things that I see here. I kind of give you an understanding, but we're not going to talk about my it's uncalled for, Homer. I suggest you stop commenting. Ah, Danny calls it the shoulder. They want you to shoulder the girls to shoulder money for the family. I know you didn't say a bad thing about Daisy, but I don't need to. Okay, forget it. Okay, just forget it. Danny Gordon is right again. See, he brings up all these points that I won't. I forget, but I know them to be true. He said it's a custom for the girls to provide for the family, and the boys have to do nothing for the family. Daisy has a younger brother that's in school. Younger brother, I think he's like 16. He has no job, which is why I don't give the mother and father money because he has no job, and Daisy has a sister who also has no job that lives with the mother and father. But to complicate matters worse, Daisy's father doesn't have a job. His job is to climb coconut trees and get the juice to make wine, coconut wine. I'm not giving a guy and 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 when it, and I decided not to give money to the family. I give them a pittance. That's it, and that's through Daisy. I decided not to give money to the family because I offered to pay for Daisy's father to come to Davao City. It's a 2-hour bus ride. I'm going to pay for the bus. I'm getting the mother, the father, and the nephew a separate room in an air-conditioned hotel. I'm paying for their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all expenses. We're going to go to the pool today.